You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the broadcast. My name is Clint Davis. Dennis McCaslin is on my right. We have just gotten the starting lineup for the Wagoner Lady Bulldogs, and now the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Taylor Collins coming out first, number 14, 6'1", sophomore. Number 15, she is a senior, Cameron Johnson. Number 21, also a junior. Actually, our first junior to come out, Hannah Boyette. Also a junior now, number 23, Madison Chambers. And last but not least, a junior, number 33, Jalen Mays. And head coach Jana Armour being introduced to the crowd. We are about to tip off, and I can imagine Taylor Collins will be at midcourt for this. I don't think they have anyone of a sizable matchup here. I believe number 2, Caitlin Bruce. She is a 5'8" senior. She'll be jumping against the 6'1" Taylor Collins. A lot of excitement going into this. The winner of this ball game goes to the championship tomorrow night.
This tip looks like a lost cause.
Well, we're going to give it the old high school try. There's the tip, controlled by Taylor Collins off to Hannah Boyette. She is bringing the ball up into the front court, over to Cameron Johnson on the right side. Shaylin Mays at the top of the post, and she's going to dribble in and look for Madison Chambers at the top of the key. Off to Taylor Collins, over to Cameron Johnson, to Hannah Boyette in the corner for 3, and that's a little bit off the mark, rebounded by Wagner. And now those Lady Bulldogs will bring the ball up the floor. Taylor Collins, with that pressure she's known to give everybody. She's all over these Wagner Bulldogs. And I don't think I'm going to be able to say Lady Bulldogs tonight much, because that's what they both are. I'm just going to say Wagner and Muldrow. For those of you listening, I mean, you probably don't have an issue with that. Ball over to the left side here. Wagner with the ball. And there is a whistle on the floor. Looks like we've got a timeout. I don't know what in the world that is. Neither team is going to the bench for a timeout. Wagner taking the ball out. Inbound pass now to number 1, Des Penny. And she's looking over to the left side. Muldrow not giving much room for Wagner to put the ball on the inside. Taylor Collins all over her lady. Now here's a drive. And a kick out to the three-point line, and about a 15-foot jumper is an air ball. And Cameron Johnson saves the ball, gives it back to Wagner, and they put the first 2 points of the ball game up. And now here comes Hannah Boyette and the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, trying to match the points just put up. Here's Taylor Collins down low, kicks it off to Cameron Johnson. There's a 2-point shot, no good, rebounded by Wagner. There was nobody down low for Muldrow to rebound that basketball. And here's Wagner with a pass to the inside. They throw it away to Hannah Boyette. She throws it off to Taylor Collins on a fast break. And Taylor puts 2 points up and in, and that is good for a tie score, 2-2, with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And the Lady Bulldogs are putting heavy pressure on Wagner, and Wagner commits a walk. And the ball will go back to Muldrow. So now here's Madison Chambers out of bounds over to Hannah Boyette, and she's going to bring the ball up slowly. Over to the right. Madison Chambers with the ball now. Looking to the corner for Hannah Boyette. Back to Madison. Pick set by Shaylin Mays. Madison goes in for 2 points, and that's good. Muldrow leads 4-2. And Wagner trying to move the ball up the floor. Full court pressure here. Clock is running, and there is a pass out of bounds by Wagner, and that will be Muldrow ball. So Madison Chambers out of bounds into Hannah Boyette. She's bringing the ball up the floor now. Nobody's in any kind of hurry. Off to the left to Cameron Johnson. Down to the low post to Shaylin Mays, and she turns around and puts up two. Right off the glass, beautiful shot. The score is 6-2. Muldrow leads Wagner with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's somewhat of a fast break by Wagner, and they put up a shot no good. Shaylin Mays with the rebound. Madison Chambers can't hang on to it. Taylon Collins is off on a fast break. Dishes it off to Madison down low, and that's 2 points. Up and in good, and Wagner's going to have to call a timeout. We're going to take a break for about 30 seconds, and we will be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. And we're going to bring you back in live after that timeout. Wagner is going to bring the ball up the floor. Full court pressure here by Taylon Collins between the legs of Shaylin Mays, and here is a shot down low, and that's missed, rebounded by Shaylin Mays. Madison Chambers bringing the ball up the floor now. She's going to slow it down. Now she's going to speed it back up, and she goes straight to the hoop. Her shot gets blocked, and now here's Wagner with the ball. There's a little bit of a loose ball on the floor, but Wagner manages to come up with it. Now here's a shot down low by Wagner, and those 2 points are good. The score is 8-4 with 4 minutes, 16 seconds left in this first quarter. Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up into the front court for Muldrow. Off to the right side to Madison Chambers, and into the corner to Hannah Boyette for three. And she's off the mark again. That's 2 missed three-point shots for Hannah Boyette. Wagner with the ball now. Blocked by Taylon Collins. Hannah Boyette on a fast break all by herself. She puts 2 points up and in. That is good. And Muldrow leads this 10-4 now with 3:50 left in the first quarter. And here's a pass to nobody. Wagner manages to come up with that loose ball. And a shot from the high post is no good. And Wagner with the rebound. And a little drive down low and a shot no good. Cameron Johnson comes up with the rebound and gets pushed out of bounds. They're going to give the ball to Muldrow. Cameron Johnson out of bounds now, taking the ball out. Full court pressure by Wagner. Inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. Madison Chambers wide open over here by herself. She's going to take it all the way to the hoop. There's 2 points up and in. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are out to a 12-4 lead with 3:20 left in the first quarter. Wagner. Skip pass over to the right side. Cameron Johnson almost with an intercepted pass. We've got number 10, Shaylee Oliver, trying to come up with something. Taylon Collins knocks the ball loose. And that will be out of bounds. Last touch by Wagner. Excellent defensive play by Taylon Collins. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have the ball back. Taylon Collins is going to be out of bounds here to pass it into Hannah Boyette. No substitutions for Muldrow yet. You've got 3 new Lady Bulldogs in the game for Wagner. Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up to the top of the key, calling for an offensive play. Off to Madison Chambers to the right, off to Taylon Collins, top of the key. Hannah Boyette on the left. She wanted to pull up for a three, but she held off. There's Cameron Johnson. She wanted her three-point shot and didn't take it. Now here's Hannah for three. Nailed it from the top of the key. Hannah Boyette drains her first three-pointer of the game. She's now shooting 33% from the three-point line. There's a stolen pass by Cameron Johnson, and she's going to take it all the way in and dish it off to Taylon Collins, who goes up. Shot no good, rebounded by Cameron Johnson, and she goes up for a shot. That's no good. Rebounded by Wagner. Ball taken away by Taylon Collins. Madison Chambers with a shot up no good. And now they're going to call an over-the-back foul on Taylon Collins. Wagner came up with the rebound on Madison Chambers' shot. And Taylon Collins gets whistled for her first personal foul of the ball game. Muldrow still with a 15-4 lead, 2:18 left in the first quarter. Wagner bringing the ball up the floor on the right side now. Full court pressure. Taylon Collins looking for that steal, and here's a layup down low, and that's no good. And there is a foul down underneath the basket, and they're going to call another one on Taylon Collins. So she is in foul trouble, and we're going to see Alicia McCloria step into the game for Cameron Johnson. And Taylon Collins is going to have to lay off the gas at this point. We got Paige Hughes coming into the ball game. And now Taylon Collins will go have a seat for just a minute. 2 fouls in the first quarter. Taylon needs a breather. Here's the inbound pass by Wagner. Ball off to the right side, bringing it around to the top of the key and a drive. And that shot is up and good by Wagner. And there is a foul on the play as well. And number 1, Des Penny. She's a 5'1" junior guard. She's going to the line for 1 free throw. And here's her first shot up, and that is good. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead 15-7 now over Wagner. Here's the inbound pass to Paige Hughes. She's in the game for Taylon Collins, who's seen foul trouble in the first part of this ball game. Paige bringing the ball up the floor and throws it away. Pass intended for Madison Chambers, and Madison could not hang on to it. That pass was a bullet. Looked like a Brett Favre pass. Paige may be one of the smallest girls on the court, but she's tough. And now here's Alicia McClory with a loose ball coming up with a steal. Paige Hughes bringing the ball up the floor. Off to Hannah Boyette, top of the key. She's going to bring it up very slowly. Off to Madison Chambers. Down to Shaylin Mays, and she turns around and puts one up, and that's no good. Rebounded by Wagner. And the Wagner Lady Bulldogs bringing the ball up the floor. Des Penny, Paige Hughes. Des drives to the middle of the lane there and puts up a shot no good. Rebounded by Alicia McClory, and she's going to get fouled by number 22, Shayana McNack. And so the ball will be out of bounds. Madison Chambers will pass the ball in. We're going to see 2 more substitutions. This is the 3rd set of substitutions for Wagner already in this ball game. Madison Chambers with the inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. Hannah's going to get fouled by number 11, Shamira Virgil. She is a 5'6" sophomore. Here's the inbound pass again from Madison Chambers to Hannah Boyette. And Hannah B bringing the ball up the floor. Off to the left to Paige Hughes, and she's going to give it off to Madison Chambers at the top of the key. Madison back to Paige. Paige to Alicia McClory, over to Hannah Boyette, and she's going to step and drive and puts up a shot down low, and that's no good. But there is a foul on that shot, so Hannah Boyette going to the line for her first 2 free throws of the game. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a 15-7 lead with less than a minute left in this first quarter. That's going to be the 4th team foul in this half on Wagner. 3 team fouls for Muldrow. 2 of those on Taylon Collins. There's the first shot up by Hannah Boyette. That is good. More substitutions for Wagner. They look like they are in the Oxford Scramble now. And now we're going to see the second shot from Hannah Boyette, and that is up and good. 17-7 now, 10-point lead, 54 seconds left in the first quarter. Wagner Lady Bulldogs bringing the ball up the floor. And we are going to see a pass off to the left side. Heavy defense here by the Lady Bulldogs. Defense is the name of their game. They held Shakota to only 28 points in yesterday's matchup. Now we're going to see a ball off the foot of the Wagner Lady Bulldogs. And that will be Muldrow ball. Cameron Johnson back in the ball game. She subs in for Shaylin Mays. Hannah Boyette, inbound pass, and she's going to bring the ball up the floor by herself, and she's going to get fouled by number 13, Des Burton. Des Burton is a 5'7" freshman guard for Wagner. Madison Chambers inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. 25 seconds left in this quarter. 5 team fouls for Wagner. Muldrow will be in the bonus shortly into the second. Skip pass over the left to Hannah Boyette. She's in no hurry, looking for signs from Coach Armour. Paige Hughes open on the right by herself. 4 seconds left, Hannah Boyette driving, and she puts up a shot, no good. Rebounded by Wagner. That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead Wagner 17-7, and we will be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring you back in live. We had the referee over here on our side of the court ready to take the ball out, and I believe they have spotted something in Tiny piece of plastic. Well, this referee, this is the one that had too many Red Bulls yesterday. He can spot a speck in the middle of the court from 6 miles away. Here's the inbound pass by Wagoner. I'm worried about this guy. Des Penny trying to bring the ball up here and do something. Paige Hughes not given any room. Here's a shot for 3. No good. Rebounded by Wagoner, and there's a shot up down low for 2, and that is good. Muldrow should have never let anybody in that close to the basket. But Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the floor, off to the right to Madison Chambers. She steps and fakes and gives it to McCloria. Back over to Paige Hughes, back over to Hannah Boyette. She steps and fakes, and a shot for 3. She drains that one. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead this 20-9.
Hannah already in double digits.
Points or rebounds?
10, well, both.
Des Penny trying to find somewhere to go, and she's going to pull up for a shot, and we are going to have a foul on black 23. Kayana Coleman, I'm guessing that's how we pronounce that name. I have never seen so many names spelled like they. We even have one named Day Day. I'm not kidding at all. We have somebody named Day Day on the floor for Wagoner. And here's Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up for Muldrow, and Taylon Collins comes up with a loose ball in the air. Over to Hannah Boyette for another 3. Oh, my goodness. And she misses that. Taylon Collins goes up for a rebound, and she gets hammered underneath the basket. So that will be another team foul for Wagoner. That will be their 7th. I believe we're going to the line for 1-1. Coach Matthews back listening live at the University of Science and Arts in Oklahoma. We appreciate you listening in, Coach. Taylon Collins now getting ready for her first free throw of the ball game. And there's a shot up, and that's good. So the front end of the 1-1 is perfect. Nothing but net. 21-9 now. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead. And Taylon Collins getting set up. The lineup is Chambers, McCloria, Collins, Boyette, and Cameron Johnson. That is the lineup for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Second free throw from Taylon Collins is good. And Des Penny bringing the ball up the floor. Heavy pressure from Muldrow. And Wagoner not finding too much luck here. Taylon Collins on Caitlin Bruce, and Caitlin nearly throws it out of bounds. Taylon Collins comes up with a loose ball, and she is going to take it all the way to the hoop, up off the glass. Good for 2 points. And she does draw the foul off that. These Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are having a good time now.
Collins 10 points, so now we have 2 Lady Bulldogs in double figures.
I mean, with 24 points on the board, they're not spreading the points too thin. Here's Taylon Collins going for her 3rd point of this play, and that's no good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette. And Hannah's going to lose that, and Alicia McCloria is going to get in there on Day Penny, a 5'6" senior guard. And Alicia McCloria commits the foul. That is the 4th team foul on the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. 8 team fouls. We're doubled up for Wagoner. 6:20 left in the second quarter. Muldrow up 24-9. And here's a pass over to the left side and a pass down low and a shot up, no good. Taylon Collins gets a hand on it, but it's rebounded by Wagoner. So now they have a second opportunity to keep this play alive, and a shot for 3 is no good. Rebounded by Des Penny. And Taylon Collins just it looked like volleyball for a minute. That was a spike if I ever saw one. Here is Alicia McCloria over to Cameron Johnson, off to Hannah Boyette for 3. And she is no good from that shot, and Wagoner rebounds, bringing the ball up the floor now. That spike by Taylon Collins sounded like she drove a tent stake into the ground. Here's a pass down low for Wagoner, and a pass back out to the top. McCloria on her lady. Now here's a shot for 3, and that's no good. Rebounded by Hannah Boyette, and she tries to dribble through. And she is going to get fouled on the floor now, so that will be the 9th team foul on Wagoner. We are at a 1-1. That is a player-controlled foul, so we will have a 1-and-1 opportunity. Hannah Boyette at the line. We're going to see all threes come into the game for Muldrow. Number 33, Chaylin Mays, and number 3, Paige Hughes, come in for 23, Madison Chambers, and 15, Cameron Johnson. Paige Hughes and Taylon Collins down to rebound for the Lady Bulldogs. Chaylin Mays, Alicia McCloria in the backcourt, and Hannah Boyette at the line. First shot is up and good. High fives and handshakes for all the Lady Bulldogs on the floor. If you're wearing white. Now Hannah Boyette's second free throw is good. 27-9, Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead this one very handily. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Here's a drive on the right side. She's going to pull out. Now Wagner with a drive down to the inside, and a shot up is good. Alicia McCloria out of bounds. Pass inbound to Hannah Boyette. She's going to bring the ball up the floor for Muldrow. Paige Hughes open on the right, and that's where Hannah goes with it. Taylon Collins at the top of the key with the ball over to Hannah Boyette on the left side of the wing, and she gives it to McCloria in the corner, back to Boyette. Down to Taylon Collins at the low post, and she's going to spin and give it off to Paige Hughes, who takes a shot. That's no good, rebounded by Wagner, and they are bringing the ball up the floor. Lady Bulldogs for Muldrow playing some defense here. Here's a drive and a shot up. Or was that a bad pass? Either way, it went out of bounds. Last touched by Muldrow, so that will be Wagner possession. They will retain the ball. Number 13, Des Burton coming into the ball game here for number 10, Shaylee Oliver. Inbound pass by Wagner. A three-point shot is blocked by Hannah Boyette, and Wagner comes down with it, but there will be a travel on the play. She was trying to throw elbows and keep a jump ball from happening, but she rolled around too many. She was crappie flopping on the floor, and so she winds up traveling, gives that ball up. Not that I've ever seen a real crappie flop. Well, I have, but only when I'm fishing.
I don't know that she wants to be throwing elbows with Chambers anyway.
Hey, Coach Matthews is actually here. He's watching and listening at the same time. That's a dedicated listener.
That's a dedicated listener right there.
Chaylin Mays with the ball at the high post. And she's going to drive and give it off to McCloria for three. And that's no good. A lot of boxing out going on, but nobody rebounded for Muldrow. Here's a loose ball. Chaylin Mays comes up with it. And it's swatted away, and now Wagner has the ball. And Paige Hughes is going to throw her 2 cents in and get called for the foul.
Thing looked like the Royal Rumble out there.
I'm telling you. You know, this year, in fact, I believe it's going to be next weekend. It's going to be the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. And we almost
had one right here.
Almost saw the real first ever Women's Royal Rumble. Only there were 10 people involved instead of 30. Now here we see the ball bringing up the court for Wagner. Number 11, Shamira Virgil. Skip pass, knocked loose by Madison Chambers, out of bounds. Last touch by Madison, so that will be Wagner ball. Coach Armour up on her feet now, giving some direction. 26-11 is the score. Taylon Collins almost comes up with a loose ball. And now we'll have the ball out of bounds. Madison Chambers going to have the inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. No pressure from Wagner. And Alicia McCloria with the ball on the right side, and she's going to skip pass to Hannah Boyette. And we are going to have a foul somewhere. Who are they going to call this on? Madison Chambers. She's doing the Michael Jordan shrug, so I'm assuming that's not because of a three-point shot. 3 minutes left in the second quarter, 26-11. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with a 15-point lead. They are in command of this ball game. Wagner bringing the ball down, and with a little bit of a drive and a pull-up jumper, rebounded by Madison Chambers. The shot was no good. Madison going to bring the ball up the floor, and she's going to pull things up just a little bit. Over to McCloria, down to Chaylin Mays, and she turns around for a jumper, and that's good off the glass. And Muldrow puts another 2 points on the board, 28-11. 2.5 left in the second quarter. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead the Wagner Lady Bulldogs. And now here's a pass over to the right side. The call's to D up. And that pass is swatted down by Taylon Collins. 3-point shot by Wagner is no good. Shaylin Mays comes up with the rebound and gives it off to Hannah Boyette. And Hannah over to Alicia McCloria. This game is fast-paced. And Alicia McCloria goes down for a shot and gets fouled on the way by number 25, Megan Hawkins. She's a 5'4" sophomore. We're going to have a timeout on the floor, I believe. That's Wagner needing a little time to recuperate. We're going to take a timeout, too, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. And we're going to bring you back in live. We've got about 17 seconds left. I didn't have enough time to start another commercial, but we've got the cheerleaders in front of us, and they're trying to get us fired up. I'm fired up. I'm ready to hit that hospitality room. And now Muldrow coming back out to the floor. We will see Alicia McCloria on the 10th foul, team foul here for Wagner. Alicia McCloria going to the line, 2 shots. And Alicia McCloria's first shot is up and good. 29-11 now. Lady Bulldogs keep creeping up on that 20-point lead. And here's another shot up from Alicia McCloria, and that's no good. Rebounded by Wagner and taken away, almost taken away by Taylon Collins. Wagner bringing the ball up the floor now. Ooh, a little extra step going on there, but Wagner keeps it alive. Ball in the corner to Des Penny, and she can't go anywhere with this ball. So she throws it up. Wagner manages to hang on to it. There's a shot up, no good. Wagner with the rebound. Double dribble now. Shamira Virgil, number 11, 5'6" sophomore guard. She's going to put 2 hands on that ball. The old 2-handed ball job. Now we're going to see Madison Chambers out of bounds. Into Hannah Boyette. Hannah looking around, not in any particular hurry. 1.5 left in the second quarter. Over to Taylon Collins on the right. Back to Hannah Boyette. Over to Cameron Johnson. Down to Madison Chambers to Taylon Collins. Back to Cameron Johnson. Over to Hannah Boyette in the corner for 3. Nailed it. Oh, they only gave her 2 on that. She must have had a foot on the line. So Hannah puts her Lady Bulldogs up by 20. Taylon Collins with another swatted pass. Or a swatted shot. They try to shoot over her again, and I believe Taylon Collins is going to get nailed for her 3rd foul of the ball game. She is going to have to come out. She does not need any more accidental or incidental or purpose fouls. First shot up is good for Wagner. Jenkins is coming into the ball game now for Taylon Collins. Taylon's going to go have a seat. Second free throw now. Oh, no good. Rebounded by Wagner. And another shot up down low is good by Wagner. 31-14 now. The Lady Bulldogs of Muldrow still in command. Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the floor. 50 seconds left in this quarter. Almost at halftime now. Hannah Boyette on the right. Cameron Johnson in the corner. Back to Hannah Boyette on the right side. She'll probably give it to Madison Chambers at the top of the key if she goes anywhere with it. Unless a pick is set. I don't believe anybody's going to move. 29 seconds left. Hannah Boyette holding the ball. Shaking a fist. Hannah not in a hurry at all. Now here's some defense being played, and we're going to get a walk called on Hannah Boyette. She was trying to call a timeout as she went to the floor, but they did not give her the timeout And once again, it's always good to see the referees paying attention. Here's the inbound pass to Wagoner with 9 seconds left, and that's a massive travel. No, nobody called that. Now there's a double dribble called. 5 seconds left here for Muldrow to inbound the pass and get the ball down the floor.
That was one of them Revlon makeup calls right there.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, they had to make up for that walk that they didn't call. Here's the inbound pass to Hannah Boyette. She's going to hurry up and bring the ball up the floor. She's got 3 seconds to do it, and she throws a shot up. And that is no good. What we're going to do right now at halftime is we're going to see the Lady Bulldogs of Muldrow up 31-14 over Wagoner. The cheerleaders are coming out to get loud and make some more noise. We're going to take a break. Dennis is going to compile some stats. We're going to hear from our sponsors, and we will be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Then we're going to bring you back in live for halftime. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs up 31-14. My name is Clint Davis. Next to me is Dennis McCaslin. We are todayinfortsmith.com. And Dennis has some stats compiled. What do you have, Dennis?
Well, Clint, typical Lady Muldrow Bulldog basketball. You know, I mentioned one night when we were in the tournament, they never go on a big run, but what they do is they outscore you 6-2. They outscore you 5-1, you know, and they just pull away steadily, and that's what they've done in this game to get this 31-14 halftime lead. Not a lot of scoring in the first half for the Lady Bulldogs from Wagoner. Leading the way with 4 points was number 2. That's Des. Check that. Caitlin Bruce. 3 points from McNack. Shannon McNack. 2 points each from number 32. I'm having to cross-check this. Day Penny, and also 2 points from Virgil. And that's all the scoring for Wagoner in this contest. For the Lady Bulldogs from Muldrow, 14 points for Hannah Boyette, 10 points for Collins, 4 points for Chambers, and 2 points each for Paige Hughes and McCloria. So that's your 31-14 halftime score, and it's pretty much been what we thought it was going to be. I'm going to go find out here in a minute who won the earlier games, so we'll know who they play tomorrow night in the finals as soon as we go to the commercial break.
We had Vian and Hilldale play earlier, but it was neck and neck the entire time.
And I didn't catch the end of it because we were
looking for a place to get set up.
So it'll be Vian or Hilldale. We'll find that out here during the break.
We didn't know where we were going to be.
Appreciate each and every one listening. I know we've had a lot of listeners that have showed up on the just on the mixer side here. And we know that we're getting other listeners on the phone, people that are coming through the website and all that. So we really appreciate each and every one of you guys out there listening in. We will be back here tomorrow night regardless. We'll have 2 games tomorrow. Obviously, right now it looks like it'll be the 5:30 and the 7 o'clock game. That'll be the boys playing in the third-place game, the girls playing in the championship game, if things hold up like they are now. And I don't see, with this Wagoner team, much things changing between now and the end of the game.
I don't either. I don't see anything going any differently than what we've seen so far. Muldrow doing a great job playing defense, only allowing 14 points in the entire first half. Now we're seeing the Wagoner Lady Bulldogs make their way back out to the floor, and I believe Muldrow is going to come out shortly. They are going to have a heart-to-heart with Coach Jana Armour. She's going to make sure things on her well-oiled machine are still going to run smoothly in the second half. We don't want to see any third-quarter meltdowns. Now here we see Muldrow taking the court. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes left. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. Third quarter underway now. Cameron Johnson took the ball out, passed it in to Hannah Boyette. Off to the left side, and an alley-oop pass down to Taylor Collins. She couldn't hang on to it, and neither can Wagoner, and that's going to be out of bounds. Last touched by Wagoner. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs will retain possession here. Inbound pass from Hannah Boyette. Cameron Johnson on the left side. Off to Hannah B in the corner. Three-point shot. That's good. Another 3 points for Hannah Boyette to start this half, and Muldrow with a 20-point lead, 34-14. I'm pretty sure that is going to be the theme for the rest of this ball game. Des Penny trying to do something for Wagoner, but she is up against the 6'1" Taylon Collins, and there is nowhere to go, so she's going to throw up a prayer. That is no good. Rebounded by Madison Chambers, and she's going to dribble around and hand it to Hannah Boyette off to Taylon Collins, who's going to take it all the way to the hoop. 2 points up and in, good, and the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs now with a 22-point lead, 36-14, 6:56 in the third. 0 fouls in this second half for both teams. Wagoner looking for somewhere to go. Ball back to the top of the key to Des Penny. And she has nowhere to go with this ball. She's just holding on to it like it's the end of the game, and she's got the lead. Now here's a pass finally over to the right side. And a pass down into the middle. She's going to throw up another prayer. Man, that was good off the glass. I guess miracles are still happening in America. And now Madison Chambers on the left side over to Hannah Boyette. Back to Madison. Down low to Shaylin Mays, and she's going to power her way in for a 2-point shot. And that is good. The Lady Bulldogs now of Muldrow lead 38-16. And Wagoner trying to find something to do with the ball here. Des Penny drives, and another shot up, no good. Taylon Collins with the rebound. She is on a mad break to the basket, and she goes up off the glass, and that's good for 2 points. Boy, oh boy, Taylon Collins going to the line to make this a 3-point play. Lady Bulldogs lead 40-16.
This is almost unfair.
I mean, it's about as fair as it gets if you ask me. I like it. And now Taylon Collins gets set for her first free throw of the half, and that is good. Lady Bulldogs creeping up on a gigantic, I mean, if it's not gigantic already, it's about to be. Wagoner with the ball, just holding it right past half court. Des Penny now on a dribble to the right side. Pass over to the left. Pass back to Des Penny on the right. Wagoner in no hurry to score any points or make this any kind of ball game. I don't understand that type of strategy. Coach Armour has a smile on her face. But I know it's not about the ball game.
This is a strategy you use when you don't want to get embarrassed any worse than you've already been.
That's what I'm thinking at this point. There's a pass down into the corner, 3-point shot. That's good. Madison Chambers ball out of bounds. Inbound to Hannah Boyette. Hannah bringing the ball up the floor for Muldrow. She's also in no hurry. Ball off to Madison Chambers. Back to Hannah Boyette, top of the key. Over on the right to Cameron Johnson. And a skip pass. Hannah Boyette can't hang on to it. And Shaylin Mays comes up with the ball somehow. Goes up for a shot, no good. Now Cameron Johnson comes up with the ball and loses it. Wagoner on a fast break. Taylon Collins gets in front, and the fast break is over. And now we have another pass-off and a drive. Taylon Collins with a rebound. She's going to take it all the way to the hoop unless she dishes it off, and she does. Madison Chambers up for 2, and that is good. Muldrow up 43-19. Paige Hughes, Alicia McCloria coming back into the ball game now. Momentarily. As soon as we get a buzzer, we will see those two re-enter the ball game. Wagoner bringing the ball up to their side of the floor, looking for a place to go. Skip pass back to the top of the key. Over to the right, NBA 3, and that is good. Lots of miracles happening. Taylon Collins out of bounds. Pass in to Hannah Boyette. Lady Bulldogs of Muldrow still with a 21-point lead. 43-22. Taylon Collins drives, passes it to Cameron Johnson for 3. And she is off the mark, rebounded by Wagoner on a fast break. They're just going to let her go. She stops and puts up a jumper and gets the ball blocked by Madison Chambers. Cameron Johnson comes down with it on a fast break and gets fouled from behind. And here comes Alicia McCloria. Here comes Paige Hughes.
Here comes 5 new players.
5 new players.
For Wagoner.
3 for, I guess that's a full house, a clean house there for Wagoner. Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the floor for Muldrow. Off to the right to McCloria, into the corner to Taylon Collins. Taylon dribbles it out, hands it to Alicia McCloria, down low to Shaylin Mays, up off the glass. 2 points good for Shaylin Mays, and the Lady Bulldogs of Muldrow lead 45-22 with 2.5 minutes left in this third quarter. There's a loose ball picked up by Paige Hughes, and Hannah Boyette bringing the ball up the floor now for Muldrow, off into the corner to Taylon Collins. Taylon gives it back to McCloria. Hannah Boyette for 3. Nailed it. Hannah is good for 3 again, 48-22. Now we're going to see Brianna Dawes check into the game momentarily for Muldrow. Pass over to the left. And Wagoner cannot hold on to the ball. They let it go out of bounds, and we're going to see Brianna Dawes come into the ball game. I don't know who's going to sit down. Looks like Shaylin Mays and Hannah Boyette. Maddie Reeves also checks into the game. Paige Hughes bringing the ball up the floor. Taylon Collins, the only starter left in the ball game for Muldrow. And we have 6'2" and 6'1" down low for Muldrow. Here's a shot by Alicia McCloria, good for 2 points. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs are up 50-22 with 1:40 left in this second quarter. Wagoner, pass down low, and it gets picked off by Taylon Collins. Nobody in front of her. She's going to put one off the glass. That's also good for 2. And Wagoner needs a timeout, but I don't think it's going to do him any good at this point. They're probably not going to call one. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs lead by 30, 52-22. And I don't know, who'd you say they're playing tomorrow in the championship? The girls? Vian.
Don't know much about the Vian girls.
Well, they didn't fare too well in the Sequoia County tournament. We're going to see Lacey Smithson come into the ball game for Taylon Collins in for Muldrow now. Paige Hughes bringing the ball up the floor over to Brianna Dawes on the left side. Back to Paige Hughes. And Paige looking to drive, but she's going to give the ball to Smithson, and Lacey is going to look down low to Maddie Reeves, who turns around, puts up a shot and gets fouled, and Maddie Reeves is going to the line. I believe she's a sophomore. Yeah, 6'2" sophomore. .50 seconds left in the third quarter. 30-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. First free throw up is no good from Maddie Reeves. And we're going to see another substitution for Wagoner. Number 3, Frankie Clark, coming out of the game. She's a 5'6" sophomore guard. She's going to have a seat. Second free throw good from Maddie Reeves. And a 31-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs with 46 seconds left in the third quarter. And now here is a pull-up jumper by Wagoner, and that's no good. Rebounded by Wagoner. They will keep their drive alive. And here's a shot for 3, and that's no good. Rebounded by Alicia McCloria. And she's in trouble down low, and she will get fouled by number 20. That is Aniqua Teong. She may be a little Cajun. Here's the inbound pass to Paige Hughes. Paige going to bring the ball up. No, she's going to give it off to Alicia McCloria, who will bring the ball up the floor into the corner to Maddie Reeves. 19 seconds left. McCloria looking for Brianna Dawes on the left. I don't know if she'll give the ball to her. It does not look like it at this point. Paige Hughes with the ball. 7 seconds left in this quarter. She calls for Maddie Reeves to cut to the basket. McCloria wants to take a shot and drives in and takes a shot, and that's no good. And that's the end of the third quarter. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs up by 31 points, 53-22. We are going to take a quick 1-minute break, and we will be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. We're going to bring you back in live. Start of the fourth quarter, and Wagoner for three, and that's good. Number 25, Megan Hawkins, drains one, so we're back to a 28-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. Alicia McClory with the ball now, over to the middle, back to the left to Brianna Dawes, back to the middle to Paige Hughes, over to the right to Alicia McClory. She wanted to take a shot, but did not. Brianna Dawes for three. That's no good. Rebounded by Wagoner. Number 11, Shamira Virgil has the ball. And she puts it in the corner, and there is a two-point shot. That's good. Well, they gave her three on that. Her foot was well over the line, but that's okay. Charity points. Paige Hughes bringing the ball up the floor now for Muldrow. Over to the right to Alicia McClory. Paige Hughes steps over the line, puts up a shot for two, and that's good. And the score is 55-28 now. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs still with the lead. 6:48 left in the ball game. Wagoner off into the corner. Three-point shot all the way no good, and that is going to be off Muldrow. And so the ball will stay with Wagoner. Out of bounds here. Number 13, Des Burton will take the ball out. Number 11, Shamira Virgil comes out of the game. Pass inbound to number 25, Megan Hawkins. She's been popping threes, and now there's another three-point shot, and that's no good. Rebounded by Alicia McClory, and she will dribble out and get fouled by Deuces, number 22, Shayana McNack. She is a 5'8" junior forward. And that will be her second foul of the game. Muldrow into the fourth quarter now. 0 team fouls for the half. 5 for Wagoner. Brianna Dawes with the ball on the right side over to McClory for three. That's no good. And that ball is going to be recovered by Alicia McClory. That's excellent hustle. And she is going to drive it in and pull it back out and give the ball off to Brianna Dawes, who pulls up for a jumper, and that's no good. And that's going to be a walk. Rebounded by Wagoner, but she just went all the way to the floor and rolled with it. And so this will be an out-of-bounds pass here, or an inbound pass, out of bounds. There's Maddie Reeves with the inbound pass. Paige Hughes, top of the key, rolling around to the right. Alicia McClory now with the ball. Down low to Lacey. Lacey loses the ball off a bad dribble. That ball goes out of bounds. 5:42 left in the ball game. Muldrow Lady Bulldogs up 56-28, headed to the championship if they don't blow a 20-plus point lead, which I don't see that happening. Three-point shot by Wagoner, no good. It's going to go out of bounds. I don't believe the referee is supposed to catch it like that, but that's okay. Wagoner last touched the ball. Alicia McClory will inbound it to Paige Hughes. Paige bringing the ball up the floor for Muldrow into the front court now. Off to the right, Alicia McClory. Paige Hughes for three. A little bit off the mark, and that's going to roll straight out of bounds. And Wagoner lets it go, so Wagoner will have the ball back. 5:11 left in the ball game. Wagoner into their front court now, looking for a place to go. Here's a pass to the high post. Taken away by Paige Hughes, but they're going to go ahead and call a jump ball. And Muldrow will have the possession, so that is a very, very smart play by Paige Hughes. She gets it tied up. Erica Jenkins coming into the ball game for Lacey Smithson. Lacey will go to the bench. Now here's the inbound pass to Paige Hughes, bringing the ball up for Muldrow. Muldrow still up 56-28. Under 5 minutes left now in the ball game. McClory down low to Maddie Reeves, and Maddie gets the ball taken away. Maddie has got to get tough with that basketball. She She's 6'2", but she is a sophomore. She's got a lot of experience left to learn. There's a takeaway by Paige Hughes, and she's going to dribble the ball up the floor and pull it up. And now she's at the top of the key, over to Brianna Dawes. Skip pass to McClory, a wide open three-point shot. Nailed it. Anytime, I'm telling you guys, anytime you leave Alicia McClory alone on that three-point line, I mean, she is more than capable of coming off the bench and scoring all kinds of points if you let her do it. Tonight, Wagner letting Alicia McClory have her way on that three-point line. Now here's Wagner with a drive down low and a ball thrown away, but they do recover. Here's a shot from the right side, no good, rebounded by Erica Jenkins. Pass to Alicia McClory. She's going to bring the ball up the floor here on somewhat of a break, and now she's going to slow the ball down. No sense in getting in too big of a rush. 31-point lead for the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs, 59-28, 3:40 left in this ball game. Paige Hughes with the ball on the right side. Pass down to Maddie Reeves, but Paige gets fouled on that pass by number 25, Megan Hawkins. We're going to see Lacey Smithson and Megan Powell come into the game for Muldrow. Alicia McClory, Maddie Reeves, Paige Hughes out of the game. Who else came in for Muldrow? There we go. Paige Hughes not coming out of the game. Inbound pass to Paige. She ran to the bench like she was coming out, but she is not. Lacey Smithson with a pass down low, and she turns around and puts up a shot that's no good. Easy points down low missed by Muldrow, and now Wagner coming up the floor. Another takeaway by Paige Hughes. She is a beast in this game. And we've got number 15, Markayla Goins, with a horrible attitude, shoving people around like nobody's going to see it. She keeps playing like that, they're going to tee her up and put her up. Now there she goes to the bench now. We have no time in a ball game for people like that. Amy Beakley's listening live. Hey, Amy. I bet that's her in the chat room, too. Sure is. There's a shot up and good by Tiny Paige Hughes. That is a 1-and-1, so we are going to see another shot. Paige, probably the smallest girl on the court at this point, and she's got 3 takeaways in this half. There's another shot, Paige Hughes. That is no good. Rebounded by nobody. Knocked out of bounds by Erica Jenkins. Wagner will have the ball. And the inbound pass now to Wagner. We've got 3 minutes, 13 seconds left. 60-28. Looks like another Muldrow-Shakota game here. And a pass to the high post, back out to the corner, back out to the left wing, and a little bit of a drive, and a shot up is no good off the glass. Rebounded by Lacey Smithson, but she's going to lose it after it gets knocked out by number 13, Des Burton for Wagner. And Muldrow is going to have the ball back. Maddie Reeves back in the ball game. Alicia McClory coming to the bench after she put some points on the board. Alicia McClory, a great candidate for a 6th-person award, coming off the bench in all these games, doing an outstanding job for the Lady Bulldogs. There's going to be a ball knocked out of bounds by Lacey Smithson. And, nope, that's going to be a foul on Lacey. That is her first of the ball game. First foul on Muldrow of this half. And the game's almost over. 2:35 left in the fourth quarter. 60-28, Muldrow leads over Wagner. And the Wagner Lady Bulldogs never had a chance from the tip-off. Wagner looking for something to do with this basketball besides turn it over. And there's a shot. That is good. That's only 2 by number 13, Des Burton. And now we've got Brianna Dawes bringing the ball up the floor for Muldrow. 2 minutes exactly left. Jenkins passed down low to Smithson, and she goes up for a shot and gets fouled. And the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs on the bench are cheering for Lacey anytime. I've started noticing this, Dennis. Anytime Lacey Smithson gets fouled or goes to the line or puts up a shot, those Lady Bulldogs go crazy over there.
This is another one of those games that even though the score is 60-30, it's not as close as the score indicates.
That's right. And now Lacey's first shot is no good, so she's going to attempt a second one. That's also no good. Rebounded by Jenkins, and she goes up for a shot, and that's all air. Wagner with the rebound, and they are hard charging up the floor. Megan Powell, the only person to beat. And Megan commits the foul on that play. That will be the second team foul on Muldrow. Foul is on the shot, number 13, Des Burton, 5'7" freshman, is going to the line. Muldrow's cheerleaders are still going at it pretty hard here, but I have not heard a peep out of Wagner's cheerleaders I don't know if I've heard from them the entire game.
They haven't had a lot to cheer about.
We need a pen sponsor for Dennis. He's ran out of ink over here.
Actually, this is a brand new pen. I think it was just a faulty deal, man.
Might have been. Free throw good, 60-31 now. Lady Bulldogs of Muldrow lead over Wagner. Megan Powell with the ball on the right side, looking down low for Maddie Reeves. And she throws it away. Pass intended for Erica Jenkins. They're going to lay off the gas and let Wagner shoot that ball. Up and off the glass is good by Des Burton. And now Brianna Dawes bringing the ball back up the floor. Coach Armour not giving too much direction. She knows her girls know how to handle this. Megan Powell with the ball. She's going to dribble around to the right side and give it back to Erica Jenkins. Jenkins looking for a cut by Smithson so she could open up Brianna Dawes for a shot, and that three-point shot is no good. Rebounded by Wagner. And there's a drive by Wagner, number 11, Shamira Virgil, and her shot is no good. Brianna Dawes now driving to the basket and dishes it off to Megan Powell, and she goes up for a shot. That's all ball. Blocked out of bounds by Wagner, and that possession will remain with the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs. We have 48 seconds left in this ball game. Dennis is either trying to stab the air or get ink out of his pen. Or he's doing the tomahawk chop, either one. Erica Jenkins with the ball now over to Brianna Dawes. Pass down low to Maddie Reeves, turns around, puts up a jumper, and that's no good. 40 seconds in the ball game now. Des Burton brings the ball up, throws it down low to Kyra Swanson, and she puts a shot up, and that's no good. Another shot up, and I believe Maddie Reeves will commit the foul on that play. Yes, 2-5 White. Nope, they call it on Lacey Smithson. They signaled 2-5, and they give it to 3-2. First shot by Virgil is good from the free throw line. And Virgil getting set for her second free throw, and that is no good. Rebounded by Erica Jenkins, and she's going to get fouled by Virgil. It's too late in a blowout game to be going that hard. Oh, Shamira. Maybe I've been saying her name wrong. These spellings they're throwing me off a little bit.
These kids these days with their crazy names.
I've never understood it in my life. I had a daughter, gave her a name that had 4 letters in it. Figured that'd be easy enough. There is a pass over to number 20 by Aniqua Tayon, the Cajun. And that ball rolls out of bounds. She cannot keep a hand on it. And here's the inbound pass by Jenkins over to Dawes. Back to Jenkins. Oh. A good hustle, 2-0. Jenkins was still standing on the line when she caught that pass.
Jenkins, they just knocked the ball back to her, so she just grabbed it.
I mean, she did what she had to do. Ball on the right side, shot up by Virgil. That's no good. Rebound by number 3, Frankie Clark, and she's going to try to go. Nope, she passes it off to Virgil again. Shot no good, and a rebound and a pass. And a basket good at the end of the ball game. That ball game is over. The semifinals are over. The Muldrow Lady Bulldogs have won and moved their way into the championship round. They will play tomorrow evening. We will have all the updates on Facebook. The Muldrow Bulldogs, the Lady Bulldogs they win 60-36. We are going to take it to a break from our sponsors while Dennis tries to compile stats with a pen that doesn't work. This is going to be good, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com. All right, we're going to bring you back in live, folks. Dennis McCaslin to my right has all the stats compiled as the Chakota Wildcats and the Wagoner Bulldogs get ready to play their semifinal matchup. Dennis, what do you have on the stats?
As Clint told you guys throughout the second half there, my pen kind of died on me, so I'm doing these stats off of scratches into paper, basically is what it amounts to. But tonight for the Lady Bulldogs, leading the way was Hannah Boyette with 20 points. Taylor Collins finished with 14. I had 8 points for Chambers, 6 points for Mays, 2 points each for Hughes, and 5 points for McCloria, and a single free throw for Reeves, for Maddie Reeves. For the Wagoner girls, and this is where it gets a little tricky. Number one, Des Penny, she finished with 9 points to lead the way. Bruce had 6 points. I had 6 points for Oliver. 5 points for the other Penny girl. I guess that's Day Day. 3 points for McNack. 4 points for Virgil. No, 5 points for Virgil. And 3 points for, let me get this girl's name, Des Burton. So that's all you're scoring for the game. Been a good 2 days so far here at the tournament. I want to thank everybody, thank the hospitality, thank everyone that's been kind to us. I also want to give a shout out to the assistant principal here at Chakota High School. Her name is Jennifer Campbell, and she's the one that got us fixed up when we got here late and didn't have a place to sit. So appreciate Ms. Campbell, appreciate all the fine folks here at Chakota. We will be back tomorrow for a 5:30 and a 7 o'clock game.
No, we will be back for a 5 p.m. and a 6:30
A 5 p.m.
game.
and a 7:30 game. That's
the boys,
right.
The Muldrow Bulldogs will play at 5 p.m. in the third place game in the boys' winners bracket, and the Muldrow Lady Bulldogs will play in their third tournament championship of the season with a chance for a second tournament title in a row, and they will play at 6:30 tomorrow evening. And that's going to do it for us. We're going to cut you out with a few commercials. We're going to pack up, and we're going to head back to beautiful Roland, Oklahoma. So we thank you for listening, and we will be back tomorrow night. You're listening to Muldrow Bulldogs basketball, presented by Divine Lines Body Art Studio and Academy in Fort Smith, and brought to you by todayinfortsmith.com.